Hello audience, this video is about me sharing 5 video games I'm excited for in the future as of 2024, whether I played them on release or much later, like a couple of months or a few years after its popularity decreases is not considered in this list. These are just the video games that I'm most currently excited for, which you as a viewer may be interested in yourself or have never heard of. I will include some knowledge from the trailers shown and details around it, as well as mentioning if it happens to be a sequel to existing media. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Mina the Hollower. It is being made by Yacht Club Games, who also made Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. That has 5 games in total, and have worked alongside other developers for Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon and Shovel Knight Dig. Mina the Hollower is a 2D top-down action-adventure platformer with refined graphics of the 8-bit Game Boy Color. Elements of it are reminiscent of the top-down Legend of Zelda games, the Castlevania series, and Bloodborne. The sprite work is appealing to look at, in terms of the characters and environments they are in, such as the high-quality animation and detailed cutscenes, which is paired with great sound design and music by Jake Kaufman. The mechanics seen in the game trailer include some of the various weapon choices, items, burrow mechanic, and an RPG-style level-up system. The Kickstarter was fully backed and surpassed the original goal, with stretch goals just like they did with Shovel Knight, if excess funds were provided. Stretch goals that were guaranteed included a sound test, cheat codes, New Game Plus, Mac and Linux ports, 3 starter weapons, and a fishing minigame, with the possibility to implement these last 2. I then stayed away from further info about it like the dev stream so as to not spoil the experience of when I get the chance to play this. Number 4. Hollow Knight Silksong. The sequel to an original Metroidvania classic, Hollow Knight. Team Cherry have been working on this title for over 5 years now. There are a lot more varied environments, enemies, NPCs, bosses, as well as systems that make Hornet's gameplay distinct to the Knight, like Mega Man X game mechanics compared to Mega Man. Other significant differences that are present include living towns with residents, quests accessible via quest boards, badges can be applied to different crests that give the player more tools as to how they want to engage with the game. There likely will be a lot of secrets that require certain conditions to be met, like in Hollow Knight. People have been anticipating the release of this game so much that there's an entire channel dedicated to daily news about it, whether there is or not, and somewhere in between. I wonder what will happen to that channel when the game does release. Though just like a game later on this list, Team Cherry will just release it when ready. Maybe a shadow release drop like other games before it. I bet there's a lot of bug testing to handle, that will take a while. Yeah, but bug testing. Number 3. Hades 2. Supergiant Games' upcoming sequel to one of my favourite action roguelikes, Hades. The sequel will focus on you playing as the daughter of Hades, Melinoe, mentored by Hecate, Hill Cronus, and the other titans that have escaped. The gameplay is going to revisit the mechanics, but hopefully more refined. The original Hades had you upgrade abilities by collecting darkness, and the choice to switch between 2 sets of abilities could be interchanged with each other. In a single run, you could upgrade your weapon's attack, weapon special attack, cast, dash, and calls that can be saved to a max charge for a greater call. All of them are mostly affected in runs by a variety of boons, keepsakes, and items, which makes every attempt mostly different, along with the level generation that is dependent on which layout hell you are in. Also, there are the Daedalus hammers that can be used to change your weapon's attack, special attack, or dash attack, often improving damage output but also changing how it functions gameplay-wise. Speaking of weapons, there are the 6 Infernal Arms, which each have 3 variant aspects, providing different benefits and altered fighting styles. They will likely carry over the same design philosophy that even if you die without noticeable progress in other aspects of the game, there is still lore to learn about from characters in the hub world. It will be interesting to see how they handle their first ever sequel, along with doing early access again. Number 2. Enna's Dream Barbecue. a surreal prequel interactive adventure game of the Enna video series by Joel G. If you don't know, Enna is set in a weird world of an aesthetic like that of the old internet. This game will have you explore unseen environments of this universe and bunched with secrets. Along the way, you will be able to interact with a vast range of characters that only want you to do things for them whilst using peculiar tools for strange issues. It was already presented in a kind of video game-esque format, which is cool seeing it become a reality now. The game will be free to download, though as mentioned on a live stream, there will be a developer support version to purchase which will include pre-production content such as sequence animatics, unused animations, and whatever else will be included in it. You could get to give the developers some money and get to see some planning materials behind the scenes, which is neat. Besides that, I'm glad that the team behind it will release it when it is ready, as was announced in the delay video in 2023. Oh wait, while making this, a video on the 24th of February this year called Enna Day 2024 was released, showing an environment with 3 different characters and 3 distinct forms of Enna. The game will now be split into chapters, which will lower the workload pressure for the team behind it, especially the artists. The first chapter is called Lonely Door, and I wonder how many there will be along with future titles. Number 1. Rift of the Necrodancer, a spin-off of the Crypt of the Necrodancer game, developed by Brace Yourself Games, who this time around are assisted by TikTok Games. There are 3 gameplay types. The first, called Rhythm Rifts, akin to Guitar Hero and Rock Band, though there is no 4th fret, and then instead the button for down hits all 3 rows at once. Secondly are rhythm minigames that seem inspired by the Rhythm Heaven series, where you have to pay attention to both the visual and audio cues. Finally, rhythm boss fights, which based on the trailer might have inspiration from Punch-Out, though you have to time your attacks. There will be 5 character storylines to go through as mentioned in a gameplay trailer last year, though it is unknown if there is anything else beyond that. Samples of the game's music were released in an extended play last year, which revealed some of the musicians for the game, such as Denny Baranowski, Joseph Breshner, Sarah Hubbard, Jules Conroy, Sam Webster, Nick Nalsbaum, Alex Mukala, and RM0. Also, having seen footage of the PAX West panel, the dialogue style reminds me of the concise text of Shovel Knight. Hopefully it will be good. And that is the end of the video. I would appreciate it if you could like the video and maybe leave a comment along with watching my other videos. Or not, it's your choice. Anyways, until the next video, bye bye.